So, this video is called The Overdue Collapse of the 9-to-5 Job. So let's see what's going on here.
Companies are doing mass layoffs while complaining about not being able to find enough employees. Some workers are min-maxing the system by working multiple full-time jobs at the same time, while others need to work hours of unpaid overtime at just one job. This is not to mention that—
Okay, yeah, because they're laying people off, and then after they lay people off, they look at the employees that are still there, and they're like, oh, okay, we don't have enough workers to cover this work anymore, so now you have to do it. That's what's happening. So they are... yeah. They're cutting their costs so that they can keep more money. And now you're doing extra work for no extra money. Because otherwise, what are you going to do? Lose your job? Because you need your job so they can pretty much like force you to just do more work for the same wage. It it pisses me the hell off, because I am the one that will sit there and be like, we'll just quit. Just like fudge them, man. Fudge the hell out of them and just tell them you're not doing it. Tell them you're not doing the extra work unless they pay you more. But realistically, I know that you can't really just do that without risking losing your job. And, you know, those people need their job to get by these days, especially in the economy how it is right now.
the gig economy is consuming entire sections of the workforce. The 9-to-5 was created by American labor unions in the 1800s and became mainstream over 100 years ago, when jobs looked like this and this. It was revolutionary for its time. But how many of the modern problems in corporate America are caused by trying to make an outdated system fit with every single modern job?
To the U.S., 8.4 million people.
The way that guy was typing on his friggin' keyboard. That's me. Pretty sure they can't find a driver where I work. Yeah. Roy, you know what? I'm pretty sure they probably can if they really wanted to. I'm sure they could. Hate it most when there's a communal pressure that makes you think if I leave, everyone else will have to work harder, so I'll stay. Yeah, exactly. That's also, yeah. Not only are you gonna risk, like, losing your job, but then you're also left with that guilt. Well, everyone else is gonna be responsible for my work then if I leave. When I finally quit my other job that I was very unhappy in, I pretty much had to kind of just be like, you know what, like, it's not my problem. And sure enough, the person that I was on good terms with and stuff, like, she was the person that I worked with every day. Sure enough, she's now doing basically all my work because they just refused to hire someone else to replace me, and she is pissed. And I mean, like, I'm pissed for her, but, well, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? So, yeah. And she's not getting paid no more. Nope. And she was already overworked without having to do my work. So, yeah.
People in the nation are working multiple jobs.
850,000 jobs. Wages went up for American workers.
Instead, they're working multiple jobs. It's called being overemployed.
Part-time, but I need both of them to pay my bills every month, my rent and groceries, so just working all the time.
A report by the management consulting firm McKinsey & Company found that 2/3 of the average human's wealth is in the work they can do over their lifetime. Everybody has time, effort, and experience they can trade for money, and those tradable commodities are worth twice as much as all the other assets that the average person possesses. A regular 9-to-5 job has been a great way for billions of people to safely exchange a predictable amount of their time for a predictable paycheck, with predictable career advancement as they gain more experience. But this one-size-fits-all model for work doesn't fit with every job, and trying to make it work has been bad for employees and bad for companies for 3 reasons, which is causing 3 equally terrible trends in the job market. The first trend is that it makes time a worthless asset. The Ford Motor Company...
Time is not money. Oh shit, there was freaking something else that I wanted to say, but I forgot. No, I forgot. Hold
was
on.
one of the first businesses in America to adopt the 9-to-5 40-hour work week. Henry Ford did this to make his company the most attractive place for auto workers to get a job. This allowed him to pull talent away from other automakers without paying his workers more. In order to compete with Ford, other automakers were forced to offer the same 40-hour work week with paid overtime.
Oh, damn. Okay, I remember. No, I forgot again. Fudge me. Hello. Welcome to the Fluffle. And my pea brain. Holy shit. Holy actual shit. Why do I keep forgetting what I want to say? I have less memory than a Commodore 64. God damn it. Okay, I remember. Wasn't there like a study done where they literally proved that people are only productive for like 5 days, 5 hours, sorry, not 5 days, 5 hours out of the 8 hours that they work? That femboy thigh lover guy sounds like a weirdo. I mean, I don't know yet. Guess we'll have to judge. Hello, Amy. Welcome in. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was like a study done where they proved that that most people are only productive for like the first 5 hours they're at work. And then they kind of just are there existing. So why not just make the workday 5 hours instead?
In order to compete with the automakers, other companies were also forced to offer 9-to-5 jobs so that their best workers didn't quit and go and work on the car assembly line. These auto workers had tightly defined and repetitive tasks, so unless the workers succumbed to exhaustion, they could do a consistent amount of work for every hour they spent at their post, and every additional hour would produce the same amount of output. If you work in a modern office job, you will know that your work is nothing like this. Sometimes there is a lot to do, and sometimes there is nothing to do. But
yeah, I've had times where there's like literally nothing to do. I literally just sit there twiddling my thumbs. Well, oh, that's a lie. That's a lie. I may sit there doing my video editing and stuff instead, and talking on Discord and posting on Twitter, because there's like literally nothing for me to do sometimes. Finished all my filing, finished all my data entry, answered my emails. There's just nothing to do. My company has us required to be in office at least 2 hours a day. That's 2 hours of hard work for the day for me. Oh, you get to work wait, so you work a hybrid. Frig, man, I want to find a hybrid job so bad. But I don't know where to find them. I have to be in the office 8 hours a day, Monday to Friday. I hate it. It used to not bother me so much, but then during COVID, I got to work from home a little bit. Like, I got to do hybrid. And it just quickly taught me, like, I actually don't need to be in the office Monday to Friday, 8 hours a day. Like, I really don't. And most people probably really don't. We could, be having a better work-life balance here, but nope. They all want you in the office. I wish I had that problem, but that's only because they are giving me only 4 hours to do what takes 6. Oh god. Yup. Yup. They're like, well, I can do it in this amount of time or something, so you should be able to as well, or something. If only they cared. Exactly. Exactly. They don't. They only care about their profits or something, or making sure you're sitting there staring at your computer, quote unquote, working. Because God forbid you do the dishes. I don't understand why they let people come to the office. But like, and like, wouldn't they save money if they didn't have to pay for office space? Wouldn't they save money? They just wouldn't be able to, like, stalk you. During COVID, it worked fine with everyone working at home. Yeah. I, like, pretty sure people were probably, like, not everyone, but, you know, some people were probably even more motivated to get their work done and stuff because they had a better work-life balance. They were happier and stuff. Not everyone, like one of my coworkers like ruined it for all of us. because she was like falling behind on her work, I guess because she was too busy doing everything else or doing her own stuff, so it like ruined it for the rest of us. And I was like, bro, come on. Having office space gets a huge tax benefit. Oh. Well then. Oh, well then. I did not know that. Benefits are only granted if a portion of workers are exclusively in office. Well, I guess that doesn't surprise me, so. Jeez.
You still need to be there 8 hours a day looking busy no matter what.
Exactly.
Back when the 40-hour week was being fought for by workers' unions, most Americans worked in manufacturing. But today, most people work in the services sector, which is more diverse than you might expect. Unless you are working on a farm or in a factory, you are a service worker, and your job could be anything from making strategic corporate decisions to making coffees. Clearly, these jobs are very different, and should have a different schedule. But most of the corporate world has tried to make the 9-to-5 fit all jobs. But this doesn't work, because no service jobs have tasks consistently delivered on a fine-tuned production line. Work comes and goes as internal and external customers make demands, and that means when people are busy and need to do more than 8 hours in a day to finish their work, they are expected to work, quote, reasonable unpaid overtime. According to an ADP Research Institute study of office professionals, unpaid overtime jumped to an average of 9.2 hours per week in 2021.
Bro. You would not catch me dead doing unpaid overtime. They can kiss my booty. Hell no. Unless you pay me, I'm going home. It boosts the local economy by bringing more business to shops in town. Salary. Oh, God, salary. Not the salary pay. See, the problem with... I feel like the problem with... So, like they were saying, these corporate desk jobs and stuff like that shouldn't still be on the same schedule as these manufacturing and laboring and stuff. And that makes sense. But then you're gonna have people being like, well, why do they only work 4 hours a day and we still have to work our 8 hours and whatever? Because and then would you even, like, they would have to also make it so that these workers who are doing the corporate jobs with the less hours, they would still need to make a living wage. Not that like minimum wage is a living wage right now. Anyways, but that's besides the point. We'll just automate everything and then no one has to work. Mocha. I like your thinking. I am on board. Yes, let's do it. We need more robots and AI. Yeah, I'll just make a Hoshi robot and I'll send the robot to work. I'm like, okay, bye Hoshi. Make me some good money today. Bye bye. I'll be streaming.
More than a full extra day to keep up with employer demands. But when there is little to no work to do because a project has just been completed or sales are seasonally slow, workers are still expected to put in the 40 hours a week because that's what the business is paying them for. If you're in this kind of job, your best option is to try and find something that makes you look busy. But if you don't have something to work on, you are probably going to be given meaningless tasks just to fill the mandatory 8-hour day. If this
Is I make myself look busy by doing my video editing. Okay, Amy, that's no problem. You take care of you. No need to be sorry.
was just another story about companies screwing over their workers with outdated business practices, it wouldn't need a video. But the 40-hour work week isn't even good for companies. So it's time to learn how money works to find out why we might be in the midst of the overdue collapse of the 9-to-5. This week's lesson was sponsored by Manscaped. It's time to throw away that bulky beard trimmer you've been using for years and make an upgrade. Because
beautiful
Manscaped
trimmer
is going full head-to-toe grooming with their Beard Hedger Pro Kit. With a powerful 7200 RPM motor and
totally buying this for Jello.
blade, this trimmer is strong enough to tackle the thickest of hair you'll find on your face, neck, and chest. Whether you prefer a 5 o'clock shadow or a tame lion's mane, it comes with 20 precision length settings so you can customize your perfect beard length and style. This beard trimmer is waterproof and cordless, so it's a great tool for trimming in the shower or over the sink with virtually no messy cleanup. It gets up to 60 minutes of charge and has a 3-level charge indicator letting you know when it needs some juice. Manscaped also created dermatologist-tested beard care products to help you grow and nourish a wonderful beard like beard oil, beard balm, beard conditioner, and more. Get your hands on the Beard Hedger Pro. Head over to manscaped.com/howmoneyworks today and get 20% off plus free shipping when you use promo code HMW at checkout. Join over 10 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped today.
Why is it so big? We work in a system where the corpos are so greedy that instead of just increasing workers' wages to a living wage and being okay with that, they think that they need to increase prices at the same rate. But see, the thing is that prices are raising, and minimum wage is not. So minimum wage was a thing that was created. Literally, if you look up why minimum wage was created, it was created for the purpose of one person, obviously back then being the man, working and being able to afford a roof over your head, your vehicle and your car, and your kids, and basically one man to work on minimum wage to be able to provide for his family. And nowadays, minimum wage, 2 people working on minimum wage can't do that. You cannot provide for a family on 2 minimum wage incomes, whereas originally it was created so that one person working on minimum wage could provide for a family. Any American working a full-time job deserves to earn a livable wage. Yes. Anyone working, putting in their 40 hours a week, should not have to stress about bills being paid, losing their house, not having food to put on the table. Like, it literally should not be a thing. Literally. It grinds my gears.
According to data from the U.S. Census Bureau, McKinsey & Company, and compiled by Statista, growth in gig work and freelance jobs have outgrown typical permanent jobs by 500% over the last decade. Gig work apps have become very popular with unskilled workers due to their low barrier to entry and flexible working arrangements. Someone with a phone and a bike can start working for a food delivery service like Uber Eats, Postmates, DoorDash, Grubhub, or all of them all at the same time in less than an hour by filling out an online form.
Oh. Okay, guys, I tried doing Instacart. I hated it. So it was the amount of money that you make per order is just laughable. The original deal was that you work your 9 to 5 minimum wage job and retire with a pension. Yeah. Exactly. Now most people will have to just work for like the rest of their lives. Cuz how are you going to retire? What are you going to retire on? These apps are also making the unemployment rate look much better than it actually is. Oh, true. Frig my life, man. Yeah, people finish their day job and then afterwards they just friggin' open up the Uber and then do Uber work. It was ridiculous. And not only are you, especially with Instacart, you're doing like a lot of work. You're actually going in the store, you're grocery shopping for people. So not only are you getting shit pay for each delivery that you have to do, but you're using your own vehicle, which means your vehicle is taking all that damage, and you're also paying for your own gas. So really, what are you working for? You're literally doing Instacart deliveries to make money to pay for your gas that you're using to do that. It just kind of boggles my mind. The amount of deliveries and stuff that you would have to do to actually make it worth it somehow.
This has been a highly appealing alternative to minimum wage jobs that still rely on the antiquated process of handing in a resume, spending weeks doing job interviews, only to still get ghosted by a fast food joint offering $7.25 an hour for an unpredictable schedule. Gig work jobs usually also pay terribly, but people get to work as much as they want, when they want, and they can work around another full-time job for extra money. Even with all of the problems of gig work, you can see why it has become so popular. The popularity of freelancing and private contracting has also exploded. This is more popular among skilled workers who can sell their services to businesses just like an employee, but with no ongoing agreement. They are only paid when there is work to be done. Private contracts are usually an agreed-upon price for an agreed-upon outcome, like $10,000 to build a company website, but they can also be billed hourly for roles like security, administrative assistants, or on-demand workers. According to a report by the management consulting firm Oliver Wyman, healthcare workers have been one of the fastest-growing groups of workers ditching typical permanent roles in favor of working as private contractors. On-call nurses, doctors, and hospital support staff already work unpredictable hours, so they don't sacrifice much by working as contractors instead of a direct employee.
Wait, what? Is this like home nursing and stuff like that? Like, what? A contract nurse? You can tell how good a company is by looking at the quality of the toilet paper. that one-ply toilet paper. Is it a part of your pay taking for retirement? Assuming the government doesn't go bankrupt. Yes. So Roy, for example, for the 9 years that I was with my other company, I have like 8,000 in my retirement fund. Okay. What am I gonna do? How long? What? I'm not retiring with 8K in the bank. after 9 years. Eat cup noodles in a cardboard box. Yeah. Cello and I just retire. Hey guys, this is our cardboard box that we live in. Don't mind all the don't mind the cup noodle mountain in the background. You see nothing.
According to the report, some nurses have elected to work in the temporary staffing market so they can take on fewer hours, as mental health has become a top priority for workers in the industry. Private contractors in all industries are usually paid more for their time than permanent employees because
Yeah, our cardboard box house gets bigger as we eat more instant noodles, because we just paste them all. It's like the bricks. The instant cup noodles become the bricks of our house.
the business only pays for the hours of services they actually need, which means most of the time, their total out-of-pocket will be lower. With mass layoffs dominating the news cycle, people are also finding out the hard way that if they work in an at-will employment state, their 9-to-5 doesn't give them much security anyway. So, workers at all skill levels are seeing they can make more, and businesses are realizing they can cut down on expenses by doing away with the rigid 9-to-5 workday, which is the second reason it's slowly becoming a relic of corporate history. But the death of the 9-to-5 is not going to be a good deal for everybody. Unfortunately for now, businesses are going to be the biggest winners out of this shift, even if they have to pay their contractors and gig workers slightly more per hour. The first loss is benefits. If you work as a private contractor, you are becoming your own boss, which means that even though you are making more money, there is overhead that you become responsible for. Benefits like paid time off, training, retirement plans, accounting, and health insurance are going to come out of your pocket.
Oh my god. Yeah, so I've only ever worked for private companies. I've only been with, other than like when I got out of school, obviously, and then I was working at like a burger joint, but then when I moved on from that, I've only worked in private companies, and the insurance is laughable. The insurance that it's just, you can't do anything. You can't do anything with it. And then you have, so Jello, he really enjoyed working at like PetSmart. Like he liked working with the animals and stuff, and just kind of like he likes customer service. But then the problem with that is that you want full time, but instead they'll list you as a part-time worker and give you full-time hours so that they don't have to give you the benefits. And yeah, I am hydrating. Thank you, Loki. Welcome in. But yeah, private, these private companies, whatever you want to call them, the insurance plans are bad. That's fraud. Yep. But there's not much usually that you can do. Not much you can do. When my time comes, there will be no money for me because there will be no one to earn my pension. What? You mean like no one to give your pension to? It's illegal. I don't know. They find a way around it. They find a way around it. They like keep you just on the brink of full-time hours. Whatever bullshit they can find, man, they will find it. Yup.
Health insurance through a regular employer is normally far more affordable than private options. For gig workers, this can be especially tough because health insurance premiums for people who ride motorized scooters through late-night traffic to deliver food to people's homes is simply unaffordable on the income of a delivery driver. Even if you are doing highly skilled contracting, if you don't manage these expenses carefully, you will end up with less in your pocket than if you just stuck with a regular permanent position. And your loss is their gain. According to a survey conducted by Forbes, small and medium enterprises were hiring more contract workers because it simplified their accounting and reduced the ever-increasing expenses of human resource management.
Wow.
It's not just small companies either. According to CNBC, contract workers have outnumbered direct employees at Google and other large tech companies since 2018, and the ratio became even more skewed during COVID. Google already has large human resources and accounting departments, so they are pursuing contract work for two other reasons. The first is that the most talented engineers have realized that they can make more money working off one-off projects for lots of companies than they could by being a full-time employee with just one company. The demand—
Oh, damn. So these people, instead of getting a full-time job, are like, oh, I can make more money by doing this as contract work. And then the companies are like, oh, we can fire a bunch of people and then eliminate all those full-time wages, and instead we can just pay this person one time and have them do it. Am I understanding this? Am I understanding this correctly? Because damn.
demand for talent during the good times meant that these companies just had to pay what these top engineers were asking. Some highly specialized engineers could bill up to $10,000 an hour for their work to these companies. Even for a company as rich as Google, it was better to pay them only for the hours. They really needed them, instead of paying them millions of dollars a year as a permanent salary for the odd project where their skills would be needed. The second reason is that during bad times, like right now, getting rid of contractors doesn't count as layoffs, so companies can easily cut expenses without technically laying off any staff. Big layoffs—
So it's the contractor. We gotta put a stop to the contractors, everyone. We gotta stop the contractors. It's cheaper to come in for a short time for a lot than a full-time employee. Yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense. Oh man, I did not even think of that. What the hell?
signal to investors and other employees that the business is in a bad shape, and that they would be better off investing their money or building a career somewhere else. There are three groups that are really going to benefit from the death of the 9-to-5, but their gain is all at the expense of one big group that statistically you are a part of.
Sorry, this reminded me because another thing then they don't have to worry about is here anyways, if you terminate an employee, you have to pay them a severance. So my previous job that I hated was 100%. They wanted me to quit because I was fighting tooth and nail to try and get a raise. They did not want to give me a raise. They would find any excuse they could to not give me a raise. They'd be like, oh, your work isn't good enough. So then I would, like, I don't know, concentrate and try to make it good enough. And then they would find some other excuse to not give me the raise. And, like, I guarantee it's because they did not want to pay me my severance because I was there for 9 years. And it would have been a hefty severance for me to pay. So instead, they just forced my hand at quitting because otherwise I would just continue sitting there being miserable. So yeah, that was really frustrating, and it still makes me mad. It still makes me mad, man, because like, holy shit. Japan has it real bad with that. Yeah. Yep. Oh man, it really grinds my gears because they would have owed me a lot of money.
The regular workers. Entry-level workers who can get gig work are not paid well, but they weren't paid well in minimum wage jobs either. They have just gained some flexibility to work when they want. High-skilled workers who can move to contract roles can make a lot of money by working for the highest bidding company. They only lost the idea of job security that never really existed for them anyway. Companies are also taking full advantage of the death of the 9-to-5 by cutting down on their biggest expense center. The losers are regular workers right in the middle who are in roles that can't be gigafied but aren't in demand enough to be contracted out. The fixed expenses of operating as a contractor, health insurance, business licensing, accounting, and everything else means it's only worth it for people earning well over the average wage. If you are earning $60,000 as a permanent employee, you would have to charge $80,000 a year as a contractor to break even.
Yeah. Oh, another thing I wanted to say is, oh, frig my life. Hold on. Managers will stick you in a room without any responsibilities until you quit. Oh man, Japan is the opposite. They absolutely will not let you quit. There is an actual industry in Japan just for hiring someone to quit your job for you. Except when a company needs to downside, you can't get laid off in Japan. Either you can't or it's really difficult to. Oh, maybe it's both. Maybe it's one or the other and there's no in between. Yes, okay, so one of the excuses they had used for not paying me more is because I wasn't like taking on more tasks. But in my head, I was like, well, why would I take on more tasks and then hope to get paid? Like, no, you want me to take more tasks, then you pay me and I'll take on more tasks. It doesn't work the other way around. It doesn't work the other way around. No.
Not many businesses are going to pay that $20,000 premium for a standard job. New regulations intended to protect contractors and workers are another problem. If a contractor files for unemployment after their job is completed with a company, they can file an SS-8 form with the IRS, which can trigger an audit to determine if that contractor and other contractors working for the company meet the requirements to be counted as a permanent employee. If they do, then the company has to cover their unemployment benefits and has to provide other benefits to every other contractor in the business as well. Businesses don't want to take that risk, so they use staffing agencies to handle all the compliance for them. According to data from the American Staffing Association, most contractors now work through middleman staffing companies. For contractors working through these middlemen, it can combine all of the problems of permanent employment with none of the benefits of being a private contractor. And that's the third reason why the 9-to-5 is going extinct. It lets companies pull some creative business maneuvers. The aged care industry has been one of the biggest victims of this shift. Go and watch my latest video on the deadly monetization of nursing homes to see how contract staffing is being used as a tool to maximize returns on a failing business model. As someone who's done contracting work time to time in the finance space, I will be writing an article on how to make the most out of these risky roles over on my totally free email newsletter Compounded Daily. So make sure to sign up at the link below to keep on learning how money works.
Oh man, guys, if the 9-to-5 work friggin' collapses, I'll be so happy. But the thing is, it won't affect me. It won't affect me. It'll affect everyone else, and everyone else will get to not have to work 9-to-5. But then there will be little old me going in 9-to-5 still. I just know it. That's my luck. That's always been my luck.